Hey guys, this is Steven with Team Kevin, and I am joined by
Robert.
and we're here in the top 4 of GenCon. It's an exciting time. This is the second game. We have Steve S. playing Martell versus Chris S. playing Greyjoy. I wonder if they're brothers? Probably not.
Let's hope so.
Actually, I'm pretty certain
They're both
not.
Starks.
So important to know right off the bat here, we're in the top 4, 2 Greyjoys, 2 Martells.
It's a big deal.
So
What does that tell you?
it tells me that those deluxe expansions are just broken.
They didn't need a core box.
It tells me that really not much has changed. Greyjoy, it's funny because Greyjoy was the least hit by the last restricted list. Finally got Asha on there, but really nothing's changed for Greyjoy aside from Long Voyage being gone. And Martell got hit hard by the restricted list and yet has 2 in the top 4, one of which is moving on to the finals. So
Yeah, which tells every non-Martell player what they already knew, and that Martell was awesome. It was always awesome.
always has been. People are now looking at Quentin and building these decks, and it turns out they're pretty phenomenal. So we see a setup here. Incredible. Quentin on setup. Got a Lost Spearman on setup, which you always want to see. Palace Fountains, Flea Bottom, Street of Sisters. Couldn't really ask for better. Longship Brian Victory on the other side. Flea Bottom, Street of Silk, Damp Hair. It's really good to see these games where both players really get out to the start that they want. And it looks like this Greyjoy is going to be a Damp Hair. So we have 2 character agendas here in the top 4. Pretty remarkable.
It's a duel, right?
It is.
The desert versus the sea.
That's right. You know, as a Greyjoy player, so happy to see Damphair doing something.
Ravens, Song of Summer.
In the finals or in the top 4. And yeah, we have time of Ravens and Song of Summer. So is the...
Will it be dueling seasons as well?
Is the Martell player going Summer? I'm going to guess not. But you know what? I'm going to guess this is a standard Greyjoy choke deck.
Oh, there's a White Raven.
There's nothing really different probably in this thing aside from what Damphair. And...
Yeah.
I'll be so surprised if I see anything else that has actually changed in this deck. But man, Quentin making a huge showing here at GenCon.
Yes.
Massive.
And even locally in Tulsa, Quentin has been kind of the go-to for a lot of the Martell players ever since the FAQ Geddon.
Yes.
Fuck Geddon.
The end of the world.
Yes, and I think that really bore out here as well. So it's good to see that the local Martell players were onto something.
Yeah, definitely. And this is one of those things where, you know, we've talked to Damon. If you guys haven't checked out that interview with Damon, it's definitely worth your time to see where the heads of these games are. First of all, Flea Bottom kneeling out. Let's see what we get here. House Messenger. Classic Martell play. Getting 2 cards, choosing 1.
Ooh, another Messenger.
Oh, man.
And
but do you pass up
sand.
Obara Sand? I think that's Obara.
Yeah, you're right.
We got all these sand snakes now. We gotta pay attention. See, now that Martell's playing cards that we haven't all seen a million times, it's really difficult.
Martell always has a use for grief, let me tell you.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, what was I saying? Quentin, what Damon was saying is that the restricted list isn't always about what's too strong, what isn't strong enough. Sometimes it's about, hey, there's a lot of other great options out there that you guys aren't exploring, and we're going to more or less force you to explore them. And that seems to me kind of a case with Martell here. It's like, you guys aren't playing with Quentin, you aren't playing with a lot of these characters that have come down the pipe. So, hey, let's make a little restricted list. Don't know if it'll stay that way, but let's get you to explore some other things that Martell can do.
Yeah, I think he went as far as to say that the FAQ was the final frontier for Game of Thrones. Actually, he never said anything like that.
He didn't, no, he never said that.
But it's a good metaphor that I would like to put in his mouth.
Ooh, House Messenger dropping Viper's Bannerman or Ariane, and that's a tough choice. Taking
Ariane,
the lady,
nice.
Taking the Claim Raiser. Boy, she's always been a force in this game, but only recently with Quentin making such a huge comeback has she really proven how ridiculous it is that you raise the claim when she's attacking.
But yeah, that's the thing with her, especially if you give her a Rusted Sword or anything like that. Just raising claim is awesome. I have always known it to be great through Lannister clansmen, Burning Men, Ill-Begotten Spoils, that kind of thing. But to have it so easy as to just raise claim by virtue of attacking, which a number of houses have things that are similar to that, is absolutely fantastic.
And she has stealth, and she's a noble.
Yes, she is loaded.
So she's quite loaded. She's always just been kind of hanging out in the Martell decks, like, oh yeah, and then sometimes I'll drop Ariane. Now she's a feature, and oh my gosh, isn't she? Gaston Grey coming out, which actually isn't going to do a whole lot of good with the duped Ariane on the board, but I imagine it's going to set up for something a lot better in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to kind of this claim-raising Ariane, I mean, look at what you get with Victarion on the other end. I mean, you have a guy who only raises claim if there's more naval enhancements on your side that's attacking. He has the War Crest instead of the Noble Crest, but no keywords. So very much comparable. This was an old design that actually is still so strong. even given the new cards, they certainly haven't eclipsed Arion in terms of just raw potency.
Yeah.
For card value.
The only thing that's comparable is the Bastards Boys or whatnot that it raises by attacking. That's
and they raise your entire thing for the remainder of the phase.
Oh wait, let's not forget Pike Phalanx, lest we forget.
We can't forget.
That is so easy to use. It's crazy.
I feel like there's a deck that maybe combines all those elements and
I would like to see it. Claim 14.
Flea Bottom Sam. So not getting the full use out of that Flea Bottom, but getting Sam out for nothing is great because you don't need him standing. You're going to play the White Raven, and you're going to draw with Sam. Draw on 2. The only real Greyjoy draw in the game, let me tell you. When it comes to somewhat reliable card draw.
Hey, what about your long ships?
Well, yeah.
Cut them some slack, man.
But it's not pre-marshaling, you know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're
Okay,
a little slow, and sometimes you don't win that challenge, especially when you're playing against Martell. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So
look at that black bordered, what is that, Sunset Sea?
That is. That's an old school Sunset Sea. And not really enough can be said about Samuel Tarley. Coming into GenCon, I would think that this kind of a deck, especially with Sam as your card draw, would just get pounded by Burn. But as we were talking about, Burn not making a huge impact at GenCon this year. So these...
Any reason that you would ascribe to that? Because I'm relatively clueless. I maybe it missed the boat. I'm not sure.
I think I'm clueless as well. I think what we're seeing is a lot of these Martell decks that are able to get out a lot of things. And things like Viper's Bannerman causing huge issues for burn decks most of the time. Card advantage, always an issue for burn decks. So
yeah,
I think maybe it's the rise again of Martell and that whole segment. I think we're seeing a lot more armies as well. As we saw in the last match of the top 4, we saw the big Greyjoy armies, both the Balin's Host and the Victorian's Reavers. And that's really going to slow down a dedicated burn deck. So
especially if they have no attachments.
Yeah, I think it definitely comes down to where the matchups are. We see Newly Made Lord come in here, chucking the Flea
Interesting
Bottom.
choice.
Yeah.
I would have nuked that Gaston Grey, but I guess
It is, after all, a choke deck.
It is a choke deck.
We can't forget.
That's true.
And it's really the question of Flea Bottom versus Street of Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the choice that the pros have to make. Theon coming out, he's going to kneel that Gaston Grey, I imagine. Or actually, Gaston doesn't even have to kneel, I don't believe, does it? I think it's just an action to put the thing in your hand.
Boom,
and
Kermie.
Kermie coming out, as well as the Iron Cliffs.
Nice.
So a great open for Greyjoy here. You can see how much this deck would get slowed down if you can shut down the card draw, and I think that would be the #1 priority for Martell here, is to just shut down and take cards out of the Greyjoy player's hand. That's going to really help out. He doesn't have huge choke elements going on at all right now. Nothing devastating, no Ice Fisherman, no Spars, no big choke elements, so you can get away with taking cards, look for maybe a Valor next turn and be good.
Yeah. All right, so
and
first up, Intrigue.
Going to do that, yeah. Going to be a 5-strength Intrigue challenge, claim 2.
Stealth and Kermie.
And we're going to stealth Kerwin.
Woo!
And,
unopposed.
Yeah, unopposed. That's an interesting
Naturally.
choice.
I guess it has to be, right? Maybe?
Well, Damper could turn it... Oh, Windy and a Bird.
Wow.
That is excellent. That's exactly what you want.
Great pull.
So that's going to shut down Sam next turn, I can only assume. And, man, only 2 cards in Greyjoy player's hand. This is going to go south really quick unless there's an answer here. I look at Viper's Bannerman in the Martell player's hand here.
And I'm pretty sure from a previous game we know Tim's running Manning City Wall, so you can drop that more or less any time.
I think we're going to see Manning for sure, and that's really going to be an issue.
Oh, so wait, he was done for challenges.
Yeah, he passed it over.
Passed it over, so here we go. Guess we're stealthing the Lost Spearman for an Intrigue challenge.
Yep. And he's going to be able to... That's going to let him stuff the military challenge. Kind of an interesting move. You got to account for Longship Iron Victory, essentially reading Theon as a 4-strength military, so having to hold both back in order to block the challenge. We haven't seen a lot of defensive play, actually, in Thrones most games. You know, you go for the challenges you can win, but we're seeing here Steve's opting to stuff the military challenge instead. Which is, it is an interesting play. I mean, you can get rid of a House Messenger and, you know, no one's the wiser. Maybe burn through some Iron Cliffs, but...
There it is, and here comes the ship. Always and unexpected.
Didn't account for it.
Yep.
It was on the power
power,
challenge.
Cool. There it goes. Interesting play. What do you think about that? I would have gone military, honestly.
I think that went a lot of different ways. If he goes military, he doesn't get it, which means he doesn't get the card draw. So it was right for him to go power. But what makes you wonder why Martell held back on the offense, basically leaving a Lost Spearman to do nothing the entire turn. Could have at least thrown in for a 3-strength military challenge and got something off the board, or cleared out the Iron Cliffs there.
Yeah, I would agree. And maybe that's why Lost Mirror didn't go in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he was doing a power challenge.
It is. It is the reason.
It wasn't about stealth at all. All right, so that's Assault on King's Landing.
River Run.
Yeah,
out
it is
of
Siege
a
of River Run.
Greyjoy
Correct.
choke. Interesting. And manning the city walls. Okay.
Nice.
So
Hello,
we-
Bannerman.
2-claim challenge. No intrigue.
Which is
Came in
interesting.
here. We haven't seen this plot in a while. It is, though, worth noting. Now, it's interesting to see this out of a choke deck. It's got average to low gold. It does have decent initiative and decent claims, so those are 2 good reasons to run it. But it's also hard to give up the intrigue challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, a dedicated choke deck doesn't care how many cards you have in your hand because
It's true.
technically you can't play any of them.
I got to think that Tim here on the left is pleased with his manning the city walls because he probably won't miss 1 gold anyway
No,
up
he will
against
not.
a choke deck.
He
Here
will
comes
not.
Red Viper and one of those green blood dudes. I can't remember what they are. Merchant?
Greenblood Merchant, yeah.
Merchant?
And Greenblood Merchant always does some serious work.
That's true. It really does. Being able to do selective icon removal is the bee's knees. I rather fancy it more than the whole slate clearing that the Orphan of Greenblood does, because more often than not, and this is probably with me playing Lannister and I'm kind of dedicated on intrigue more than most, being able to pop those intrigue icons that I'm really looking to keep is the worst. The absolute worst.
It is bad. It's so bad it's good.
Well, for them.
Exactly. And, man, not much gold to look at. Looks like a handful of
Awesome cards.
awesome cards, but expensive card. I
Yes.
see a Viper in there for sure, and that's always
Bring on the reducers.
kind of hard to play out. But you've got so many cards generally as Martell. You can resource through these choke elements. And we haven't seen a real dedication to choke here. No burn and pillages. None of the more niche choke elements. May just be looking for Marauders at this point.
Yeah, more winter-based effects than anything.
Yeah.
I
And,
believe it.
Important
Marauders
to
is
note, he had
awesome.
another carrion bird in hand there. That's
It's true.
significant that he got those cards out.
It's true.
Street of Silk bringing Carl the Maid in.
Love that card.
Gotta love that play. And you gotta love that card. He's not gonna be doing much work at all on Siege of River Run turn, but hey, put him out there, I suppose.
There's the fisherman. The choke is setting in.
Yeah, it's one of those things, with Carl, it's like, I don't know if I'd even play him. This turn, he doesn't have a whole lot to do, and you got to watch out for what happens when Valor hits. Are we going to steal? We're not going to steal a gold, because there is none.
None money to steal.
And look at all these characters. This is one of the reasons why we may not have seen Burn do much. I mean, there's just so much on
It's
the
a
board.
flood,
It's
yeah.
just a flood. But man, a threat from the north turn is going to do serious things to this Greyjoy
Yeah.
and Martell board. I can see it now.
And a Hatchling's Feast. What is it? The Dragon Pit?
Everything.
All those things.
The whole thing.
It's awful. Just awful.
And so we're going to see Greyjoy over here. We're going to see Chris giving it a shot. Tough challenge, Matt. Viper's Bannerman really changing things here. The Intrigue challenge is gone. There's no way he's winning a military challenge, really, or a power challenge, from what I can see. So he might just hang out.
I know I like hanging out. Unless I want to win.
I'm gonna
to attack, right?
wager also that we were talking last turn about do the military, don't do the military. I think both these players are trying to keep the agendas out of play.
Ah, clever.
I
yeah.
think he doesn't want Aaron attached, and he doesn't want Quentin attached, and so they may just be threats the entire game that never actually get claimed. There may not be a military challenge the entire
Can you imagine?
time.
Somebody's got a Valor sometime though, right?
Somebody, I assume, does have to Valor, and at this point, it would be in Greyjoy's favor for certain. Well, temporarily
So
in
what's going
Greyjoy's
on
favor,
here?
I'll say.
Okay, so
It has to be a power challenge,
challenge.
4 strength.
will he oppose it, and what with?
We got 5 on the defense. You got to remember +2 for Iron Victory on any of these challenges.
Mm-hmm. So anywhere from 5 to 7, 5 or 7.
So really needs 7. So he's going to have to kneel down Quentin. He's going to have to kneel down the Paramour, and he's going to have to kneel down Ariane.
It's a lot of cards.
And I don't think he's going to do that. He may just stuff for the Bannerman also. Depends on if he actually remembers Iron Victory here. Come on, Steve. Remember.
So he's got 3 strength committed. Will he do more? Successfully opposed.
I think he's just going to oppose. I don't think he's going to do anything fancy.
The real question is, do you go for the card now, or on a challenge you need the strength for as well with your Iron Victory?
Yeah, I think right now I go for it because there's no way to win any other challenge, to be honest with you.
You're right. Looking at the board.
And it looks like Chris did not.
Okay.
So he's leaving Iron Victory up as a threat. What's that really going to do for him? We have a 2-strength Theon. Lost Spearman can get through for nothing, and Viper's Bannerman can get through the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame to not use Iron Victory and get a card here.
It's too bad, especially for Greyjoy, already behind the...
It looks like he just went for it and said it was too late. So I think that is something he just straight up forgot to do.
Yeah, that we had claims, so that's fair.
Yeah. Don't even ask for that. I appreciate not even asking for the take backsies there.
Yeah, it's good manners.
Yeah, that is a response to you attacking. So not a response.
Or
during
defending.
The challenge
Yeah, it's an
phase.
action. Yeah. You have windows.
We've got an intrigue challenge coming in. It's now going to be a 3 claim because of manning the city walls in Ariane.
What?
Just insane. And this is the way to beat the Greyjoy choke deck right here. This is the way to do it.
And it looks like he only has 3 cards anyway, right? Or does he have 4? Might have 4.
Yeah, it looks like 4.
Yep.
And
Boom.
There's 3. Ice Fisherman, another bird.
Atlantis. Ouch.
Boy, good hand otherwise, but doesn't help you in the discard pile.
I wonder what he has left.
Going to trigger the Paramour to search.
Oh.
And it looks like that's going to get canceled with...
I didn't see it. Black border something. What could have been black bordered? To be a Kraken? Did he stand something?
Didn't have a military battle.
Oh, never mind. You're right. Yeah.
It could be seasick. I didn't see anything for a finger dance, so it must be seasick.
Yeah.
But it can't be a black border on it. It could be a paper shield.
True.
Old school paper shield, just doing some work.
Getting my papes.
No, paper shield's only events.
Oh, that's
Man.
true. So, what? It's got to be seasick, right?
It had to be seasick, but it's black bordered, so
I'm confused.
I don't know what it is.
All right, Bannerman coming in. What do you think? Power challenge? Taking some of that power back? Because if he didn't do...
if we're going down the line of
Yeah.
I don't want your agenda on point, then I think you just go power. Yeah.
That's right. So, there
but
it is.
here we go. He's got Deadly, so...
Boom. Dead.
And he's going to Gaston Grey Dampier. Nice. So still avoiding the agenda.
Well played. So, Kermie to cancel?
Kerwin's going to cancel the bounce that chooses Ironborn as only target.
I want it dead, please.
And it looks like Kerwin didn't go through.
Okay.
And I'm going to guess that the wording of the card, it says, chooses an Ironborn as its only target. And I believe that Gaston chooses both your character and their character as its targets.
Wow, big deal.
That's my guess here. I don't know for sure here, guys, but we're going to steal an Ice Fisherman with Seductive Promise. What a good move.
That's crazy.
Just a funny thing to do here.
You choke me, I choke you.
Yeah, very nice. And Dominance going to Greyjoy, so we'll go back to the top here. That was a bit of a carnival there that happened. It was a wild time.
I feel like I just got off the merry-go-round.
Yeah. And Dampier is so still not attached, and the Valor isn't really open to get Dampier on the agenda. So really, really smart play here, playing around the character agendas.
So it looks like a breaking and entering and roll by decree?
Yeah, and roll by decree. And roll by decree, an interesting choice in a choke deck. Like I said, you can either streamline your choke deck to not care how many cards your opponent has, or you can
choke
make
on all
them,
fronts.
make them not play anything for a few turns and then roll by decree to get rid of a bunch of cards. I usually don't like to run roll by decree in the choke deck. Obviously, I'm not on the top 4, so it's probably the wrong decision. But you know, if your motto is they can't play anything anyway, then why do you care how many cards they have?
That's a really good theory.
It's a good theory, and it's exactly what it is. It's a theory.
But
I haven't played choke in a while.
I think you're exactly right though. But I don't know. Maybe there's another way to play it and build up like this guy's done, and it's like discarding cards, and you just hedge your bets that way.
Yeah. Hey, it's still less options, you know.
That's right. I mean, when you only have one card, give as few as possible to your opponent.
Yeah, and obviously having potentially a good play because the Martell player here, Steve having to really decide what he's going to get rid of.
Yeah.
And that can certainly be an issue. I would be especially nervous about it with so much recursion. It seems to be in the meta right now, discard and Dead Pyre recursion.
Yeah.
And I'd be nervous to do this against a Baratheon, for instance, that checks Seats of Powers and then gets them back.
All right, so there goes our toss. Look like a bunch of low cost, low strength guys. He's going for the quality at this point, it looks like.
We've got another Viper and a Lost Oasis. This is pretty much going to seal the deal on the Martell side of the board. I'm assuming that Greyjoy player, that Chris is going first. I hope if we have Steve going first instead, then that Ice Fisherman is going to do some serious work.
Yeah.
Looks like we had an initiative tie at 4, and it would have been Chris's choice. So I'm going to hope he chose to go first. We won't really know until we see the cards down.
That's true.
And it looks like actually it's the opposite. So
Wow.
Steve is going first, which means he's going to be able to steal a gold before Chris can do anything about it.
It's a pretty big deal.
Serious Sisters kneels out for the effect here.
Awesome.
And are you cool with that? Yes, I'm cool with it.
Seems good to me.
Seems all right. And it is a C6. Look up there.
You're right. Nailed it. Good job.
Is it black bordered?
It is black bordered.
Ariane coming in. Huge. I mean, you just love her on the board.
It's a huge deal.
This Martell, and there we go. There's the Ice Fisherman take.
Taking it.
That's what you want. This is just a really well played Martell. Just a great game. Just a well played Martell game. Playing around Damp Hair from turn 1, solidifying your board, stealing the important
Oh
things.
man, there goes Gaston.
There goes
Big deal
Gaston.
right there.
Yeah, that's going to help out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
Dampy's back.
at the same time,
Yeah.
it's this Greyjoy Choke deck isn't the worst deck to be hit by like Gaston Grey. It's like you're throwing out kind of chuds, and
Yeah, it's true.
what are you going to bounce? Many of them made lords or something. Keeping Damp Hair off the board is significant, but I think Martell will be just fine here. I think Steve will get it done. And we're going to see another Intrigue challenge, I can imagine, or even at this point, I would not mind a power challenge either.
Yeah.
Either way, Ariane is not going to be used here because Claim is 2 anyway, and I can't imagine there's more than 2 cards in Chris's hand over here.
So a 7th strength Intrigue challenge coming in.
Yeah. And without any way to boot. Now, important to note, we could go all in here, blocking the Intrigue, use Iron Victory, and win this thing.
It's true.
It's kind of critical on a breaking and entering turn to not lose a location or attachment if that's what you have in your hand. Tough to know without seeing what's in Chris's hand, but
Yeah, man.
it's pretty tempting to stuff this Intrigue challenge and be a card up.
Unopposed.
It is unopposed, and it is a
Boom.
Finger Dance, so not a terribly critical card right now, at least.
Yep. We'll see what happens later.
Yeah, we're going to see if I think we'll maybe get an Intrigue challenge back at you.
Ooh, power.
Power challenge coming in, 6
2
strength
stealths.
with 2 stealths.
Woo. That's a big deal right there.
Yeah, it's going to be newly made Lord and Theon, so Dampier's not going to be able to block this challenge straight up.
Will he oppose it, though, is the question. We'll see.
A lot of hand magic tricks going on here.
Yeah. And these two.
These 2 are stealth, yep. And you either set Dampy down or you don't.
I wouldn't. I mean, ultimately, I guess.
I mean, you're getting an Intrigue challenge anyway. You've got the power challenge probably locked down anyway.
He's taking your 2 power no matter what.
So it's a matter of, can you compete with the Bannerman? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strength power. If he doesn't kneel Dampy down, he can get a power challenge back at Steve here, but it's really just treading water.
It's a tight spot. It's not where you want to be.
You can't lose 2 to 3 challenges and win 1 and expect to continue to do well.
Yeah.
So I think he made the right choice. You're going to oppose, try to slow it down here.
There we go.
I'm stealing 2, so that's going to put Steve at 7 power.
Halfway there, almost.
And are we going to go ahead and attach here? I think at a certain point you have to just get the military challenge out of the way.
I agree.
And make it happen. So here comes the 2 claim military. Probably a good time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably kill Damphair in like a...
Whoa,
killing
and Sam.
That's rough. And we've been through a lot of birds already. Maybe all the birds in the
Yeah,
deck.
it's true. That was probably a good decision if he knew what his bird count was, which I assume he does.
Iron Cliffs are going to help tremendously. This actually sets up a pretty good Valor turn. For Chris here, and I think you have to expect that on Steve's end here.
All right, so power coming in.
Power coming back in, so 1 for unopposed and 1 off the house.
Nice. I'm gonna do military with that bird.
There, I imagine, is the intrigue. Please don't forget Iron Victory here.
Yes.
All right,
there
we
it
go.
is.
Good.
Not doing that twice.
Yeah, as a Greyjoy player, it's one of my greatest, things that causes me issues. Remembering that Iron Victory.
The green blood is out.
If you don't draw as Greyjoy, you're gonna lose.
That's true.
You just lose.
Well, I mean, not always. You've smoked me plenty of times where you weren't drawn.
Yeah, you're definitely on the clock if you're not. So 4 power, pretty decent recovery here on Chris's end. And we're going to see if the Valor does drop, and we're going to get 3 cards if it does. I'm going to assume that it's a nice time to play this Valor. Nothing's duped. You got an Ice Fisherman on their side of the board. Resources on Steve's side are very limited.
Ooh.
I
see an Alt-Art Valor Magulis there.
Street of Sisters.
Bottom of the stack.
And Palace Fountains. You're probably not... Okay.
Power of Blood wins a winner.
So Power of Blood, we were expecting the Valor here on Steve's end, but he doesn't give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Two claim wins a winner instead. Still Power of Blood, not a bad plot for 4 gold.
Though I really like that this Power of Blood is more or less being played for Ariane's benefit alone, and I think that's a really smart call because she is the bee's knees
That's
right now.
enough, yeah. Just keeping 1 on the table, just 1 big hitter coming at.
Yeah, a claim raiser.
Yeah, coming 2 claim back at you on your Valor turn. After all that drawing, you're getting a 2 claim intrigue, or a 2 claim power even at this point to seal the game out. I think she's significant. Palace Fountains coming in, that's not good for Greyjoy here. That's not really what you want to see. 3 resources in the backfield.
And he can afford his Viper now as well.
He certainly can, and I imagine will. The question is, do you have another Power Blood? If you have another Power Blood in the deck, you play the Viper now and you try to close it out. If you don't...
3 reduce. Will he pay 2 after? 1? Wait, what's he doing? 2, 3, all in turn. There you go.
I think he's going to try to
Paying
close
2, there's
this
the
one
Viper.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom.
Not a bad choice.
And then the Merchant.
The Green Blood Merchant, okay.
Great choice.
You still gotta watch out. You still gotta watch out for the Valley. I'm assuming this means we see a second Power of Blood next turn. That's gonna be my guess.
Taking a gold. Only 1 gold to spend. He has a lot of reducers, but still, that hurts.
Yeah, choking myself. Oh, and just drew into all of his locations.
Some saves, a Boatswain, and did he? No, that's not a newly made, is it?
It is not. No, just the Boatswain, the Iron Mines, and the Gatehouse all coming out this turn. Not exactly the draw that you want, but actually kind of what you needed.
Nice.
So he's going to cancel the Merchant with the influence there. May as well make him spend it.
That's right. No need to give up an icon unless you have to. And he didn't have to.
So why bother?
Why bother?
Why bother?
Moving on. Let's go on to challenges. Because we're done with pre-challenge actions, I'm assuming.
We are indeed. It's funny, man. I just can't tell you. I know we kind of rag on Martell sometimes, only because it's just a lot of fun, and they're just so easily raggable, you know. And mostly because they beat us a lot.
They do.
That's the main reason. So it's great to see. Just look at this Martell deck.
No matter how much we restrict, they can still beat us.
Look at this Martell deck. It's playing all the characters you love to hate. It's Vipers for its restricted. It's not doing anything terribly fancy. We've got Quentin as the agenda, not even attached yet. This is the
oh man, can you
Hall
imagine
of
this
Fame
deck
for
with
Martell.
Quentin right now?
This is the
this
Hall of
board
Fame for Martell.
What? Ugh.
It's playing good characters. It's playing a great character agenda, and it's just running smart plots. Nothing fancy going on here.
Yeah,
guys.
it's just really solid fundamentals here and a splash of control.
And we really see the same on Greyjoy. These are two houses doing exactly what they were, I think, built to do. And the Martell definitely getting the upper hand in this matchup. I think I could see this one kind of sailing on the way out for Greyjoy, but a good show of both houses. We saw some choke, didn't really get it locked in early, and now we're seeing the Martell engine really turn with these incredible characters, good keywords, and we know there's good events backing this up. We just haven't seen them yet, so that's scary.
Yeah.
It's always scary.
All right, so here we go with, I'm assuming, a power challenge.
I'm going to assume power or intrigue. Let's see what the stack says. That looks like a power stack to me.
I don't see that intrigue for Quentin. Or
right.
military for Arion.
Yep, so you're right. It does have to be. Matching says all blue icons. We're going to Nightmares the Iron Victory.
Ouch.
That's going to be nice. Keep
Whoa.
a card out of your hand.
Holy Toledo.
And let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no Iron Victory. So we could still stuff this challenge if we wanted to, but I'm going to guess that somebody was stealthed here.
Yep.
Because Arion is that good.
Well, there's 2 stealths, Quentin and Arion, I believe, right?
No chance at this one.
So opposed, but still losing 2 from the claim raise.
Losing 2 for Arion
And a
1
renown.
for Renown.
Oh, man.
Game's really coming to a close here. We've got 9 power on the house, an extra 1, so 10 total power on the Martell side here off that power challenge. And I think we'll see a little bit more. We'll probably see another turn. It's going to all revolve around Power of Blood versus that Valor and which one really wins the day.
Yeah, totally.
Some Martell decks will only include the 1 Power of Blood for the Valor turn. If they call it wrong, they'll just eat it. And we're going to see if that's actually the case. If the Valor goes off, we could see a whole new game here. 3 saves on the Greyjoy side.
That's a lot
3
of cards.
cards to draw from Dampier.
I did see that Nightmare in his hand, just a glimpse of it, but I was thinking that he was reserving it for his the Iron Cliffs.
Yep. And that is a bit of a tell, I think, to the fact that we are going to see a Power of Blood next turn. Not worried about the Valor at all. Keep all your stuff.
Just do whatever you want.
I'll keep the Viper and Arion and we'll call it even, you know? Kerwin's going to swing back in on an Intrigue challenge because you've got it. Now, when Carl's going to naval in, he's going to trigger his effect. So at the very least, you've got a 3-strength Intrigue challenge to worry about here. At the very worst, you're going to be looking at an intimidating Carl that's going to take everyone out of this challenge.
Yeah. So he gets how much strength when he's boosted?
He gets +2
Plus
for every,
2?
I think,
Okay.
event, or +1 for every event. I believe it's event that's revealed during the discard. And against a Martell deck, this can be really devastating because guess what they have a lot of?
I don't know.
Usually events. I'll actually double check Carl here.
Yeah, I haven't seen and based off of his influence spread, I'm really surprised that it looks like he probably isn't running Red Vengeance.
He's going to naval in, discard the top 2, in fact, and any events +2 strength, no events.
2 characters by the looks of it, right?
So, kind of lucked out there.
Might have been in a location in there.
Stuff in the Intrigue. And finally, we're going to a Power back at ya. And the Bannermen are going to have a pretty easy time at this one, I think.
Yes. Because we have 6.
We have 6 coming in. That's about all I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up for a military challenge if he doesn't defend. So it's kind of a which one would you like? I think expecting the Valor next turn, military challenge at this point does not matter in the least.
I agree, Kent.
These girls could turn me. And the Bannermen staying put. Losing the power challenge, really, really surprised by that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't tell you. I can't accurately tell you how surprised I am by that move right there.
That's right.
Oh, I guess doesn't matter, right? So wins a winner, taking Viper's Bannerman to 6 strength anyway. So that's why I didn't block. Yeah.
Well done. You saw it.
Whenever there are things that you think are wrong at the top 4 table,
Look at the board.
There's a reason they're done. Yeah.
Look at the board.
That's a big swing, I think, back towards Greyjoy here. If nothing else, given some time to stall this Valor out, can he afford to wait another turn? Now, we do see
That's
Power
a really
of
good
Blood.
question, man.
We see Power of Blood in Steve's hand over here.
It's the topmost.
And this is going to be the moment where you either play it out.
Men of Pride, Power Blood's on top right now. What's it going to be?
Are you going to drop the Valor and hit the Power of Blood? Are we going to see a Power of Blood and the Valor's going to wait an extra turn, hoping to stall out the game?
All right, so he's choosing Power of Blood. Here it comes.
Right.
Men of Pride.
So if we get through this turn, Greyjoy has a decent shot at recovering from a Valor next
that is
turn.
a huge deal, man.
That could be significant.
Huge.
Now, the other thing we're going to have to look for is when is Viper going to get turned on as far as... Oh, that's choosing the Spear in hand. That is huge.
That is a big
Viper.
big deal.
Man, wow. So we're going to have to watch out here and see... It's really going to be this turn is a significant
Spend a
turn.
gold, take a gold.
Yeah, 2 claim, 2 coming in. We've seen a lot of 2-claim plots in these top 4s. It seems like that seems.
Aggro control, man. It's
wow,
a thing.
look at that
Look
drop.
at those boat swains.
That's
What?
exactly what you want if you're trying to stall this game out. You want 2 4-strength guys on the challenges that matter.
For cheap.
No cards in hand. Intrigue challenge does not matter. If he can drop a renowned character here, it's going to be very difficult for Greyjoy to win.
Oh, man.
Lost Oasis almost as good. And keep an eye on when Viper gets turned on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters on Greyjoy's side. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the Martell side.
What?
9 with a Green Blood Merchant.
What? It is neck and neck. The question is, will he play anything out additionally, or is he going to kind of like...
No, it's only 8. It's only 8.
Is it only 8?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3,
recount
4,
says
5,
only
6.
8.
You're right.
No, Ice Fisherman's back there. It's
oh,
9.
Ice Fisherman. Ah!
And he's gonna
So now
play
he's
it
at
out.
10.
All right. And I, for the life of me, cannot... That guy looks like a toad that he just played.
Is that Cletus?
I know it's a new guy, but I think it looks like a 2-strengther to me.
I can't make him out.
No, I'm gonna do a little detective work. We're gonna think really hard about this one. It's a Martell character for sure.
2 strength.
Looks like 2-strength, right?
Yes. I'm saying 2.
All right, we're gonna assume 2.
No, I think Cletus had 3 strength, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
Let's see. No, it might be Cletus. It is Cletus.
It's totally Cletus.
It's Cletus.
Yeah.
Woo! Called it.
Melee and Renown. So important that he has Renown right there.
Yep.
So important that he has Renown.
And even Melee is super critical right now as well.
So we've got Renown coming in on the Viper and on Ironwood, Sir Cletus. So that's 2 power. We've got a power challenge that's going to net 1. So that's already looking at 3 more power.
Yeah. And
Put
even
you at 11,
and even his
12.
effect when that inevitable Valor comes is going to give Martell 2 more cards.
Yeah, and Viper's Bannerman capping him out on the
Yep.
Valor turn. So I don't even know if the stall is going to do much good here. Really, actually, this game got a lot closer than I was expecting all of a
I
sudden.
know.
Man, kind of on the edge of my seat here.
So the question is Greyjoy going to do a military challenge?
These challenges are going to be very interesting. You've got to be so careful
Yeah.
not to give unopposed.
But that military challenge with Greyjoy now, if he does it and then the Martell player lets it through, then
Viper gets
Viper
going.
is activated.
Yeah, you're so scared of that. And this is a 2-claim coming down the line. This is going to be a big deal.
But you hate to waste a 2-claim plot on any challenge, no matter what the board
I
circumstances
mean, I think you have to win a power challenge here. The swing makes too much sense.
What is that, 8 strength?
It's 8 strength total, yeah.
And Quentin isn't active, otherwise this would be
a no-brainer.
A no-brainer, yeah.
8 strength could go to 10.
Who has Vigilant? No one.
Could go to 10 with Longship Iron Victory.
Oh, Vengeful, excuse me.
Yeah. And you notice that actually one of Martell's weaknesses is the power challenge. They don't have a lot of power challenges.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of power icons, but he's done a pretty decent job here getting the board with power icons. You're going to have to kneel a lot of stuff down to successfully oppose this challenge. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think you just...
Whoa, but, like, Cletus does have melee, so that's an extra 3 strength. He's blocking for 5.
Yeah.
That's a big deal right now. All those weenies coming in.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, accounting perfectly for Iron Victory here.
That's right. And with 2 renowns on the defense as well.
2 renowns on the defense.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, now this is a genius play in my mind because this... What we don't know, what Greyjoy doesn't know, is that there's a Choosing the Spear in hand here. So Chris doesn't know that the Viper can stand up and go twice, so he may well be tricked into doing a military challenge here.
That's right.
And Viper will get turned on, and that will be the game. So we'll see if that actually is what happens.
Can you imagine, man?
We have Carl coming in on what I can assume is...
It's got to be Intrigue, man, right?
An Intrigue challenge? I don't know why.
But he has to naval in to get his effect,
correct. I don't know why we didn't open with Kerwin if that's
Kerwin.
the case. Could be a military challenge.
But this could be what he wants. So, he's standing him.
He's going to stand Sir Cletus.
So maybe it is military. Can you imagine? And discard. Aha! That was his plan. It was Intrigue.
Yep, it was an Intrigue challenge.
Okay. He just didn't want to lose the spear card. Excellent play.
Absolutely.
Excellent play.
Unless you just, I mean...
But the question is why...
Why don't you just stuff it with the spearman, you know?
Yeah.
That's what goes through. I guess the Iron Victory makes it weird. Oh, and Intimidate is what makes
Intimidate.
it weird.
Yes. Good call.
All right, we're on it. Don't worry, guys.
We looked at the board.
We got you.
Finally.
4 Strength Intrigue Challenge would intimidate everything out, so it makes perfect sense.
All right, so now, using the
He's
ship.
going to go ahead and use it on that challenge.
Excellent. Draw a card. Wonder what it was.
And now it goes back. Now it goes back. Now, Bannerman, an interesting situation here because if they attack, we could easily find ourselves with 2 more cards in Chris's hand because of Deadly.
Oh, yeah.
And saving via Iron Mines or Iron Cliffs could give more options here, give him a little more info as to whether or not to drop the Valor next turn. So you got to be careful blocking with the Bannerman or attacking with the Bannerman.
That's true. All those things are true. So we're counting guys.
We have 11 power here on Steve's side of the board.
It's getting close. But I still feel like it's anybody's game, which is an awesome testament to how well this has been playing out.
Lost Oasis, going to give somebody stealth. I'm going to assume it's the Lost Spearman. And we're going to stealth out Kermer for the Unopposed Intrigue Challenge.
Pretty solid play right there. Getting rid of that card he just drew.
Yep.
See you.
And there goes
the reader. No.
That would have been a nice play.
It would have been awesome.
Nice off the Valor. Putting at 12 power there. Boy, those boatswains.
Yeah, they're just ready. Tying some knots.
You gotta win a power challenge here. I mean, there's just no way around it. Swing with everything and just go.
Yeah.
That could be enough. You're getting 2 claim off the power challenge, or I'm sorry, 1 claim. That's the difference. Arion though could raise it to 2.
There's
2
still a shot here.
And 1 for renown on Cletus. I think this is the game.
Here we go. What?
That's it.
There it is.
All right.
Wow.
So, wow.
He saw it too.
Boy, we were one power short of potentially seeing that Valor next turn and that game changing drastically.
Yeah, man.
Three guys staying on the board for Greyjoy, getting full draw cap, but we have full draw cap for Martell on that turn as well.
That was a great game.
But also 0 cards in hand. What a game. I think this is a great representation of Game of Thrones and just 2 great players, 2 great decks. Congratulations to these guys.
Well played, guys.
And thank you guys for watching this game. It was the top 4 of GenCon. We're moving on to the finals next. Can't wait to see you guys there, and we'll see 2 Martells in the finals.
That's right.
So restricted list be damned. Martell is here to stay. Thanks for watching, guys.
Take care.